How did you like that countdown intro?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
That was interesting.
Yeah, with ours, truly Emilio Natalio, RBLP Chief of Staff. Okay, so I'm not logged in, so I can't tell. We are streaming. I think we're streaming live right now. Is that correct? Emilio, are you?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we're streaming live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And the topic of this Getting Certified broadcast is RBLP Leadership Certifications and ACE College Credit Recommendations. ACE, the American Council on Education, right? That's what we're talking about today. So for folks that are tuning in, listening to us on any of those three social networks, you can, again, what was that? LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, right? If you are listening in and you have a question about the ACE college credit recommendations that come with earning one of the three RBLP leadership certifications, then you can type that question into the chat function of right there on YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook. It'll show up. It'll show up here. We'll be able to see that, and then we can respond to those questions in real time here during the chat. So, and by the way, if you're tuning in, listening to us, even if you don't have a question, type your, put in the chat your name, because sometimes the name doesn't show up. Tell us your name and what city, state that you're tuning in from. So, Mark, you're up. How's it out in Baltimore? Is it cold?
It is cold. Yeah, let's just say my dogs have skis on their feet, and I never bought them for them. So,
gotcha. And Tony, you're in close to Philly, right? Is it? I imagine it's a little colder there.
Yep, suburbs of Philadelphia. We've had some chilly weather lately.
Yeah. So I'm, of course, here in Southern California, and it's fire season here in Southern California. If you haven't been watching the news, it's the fires. It's wind, right? The wind blows these what they call Santa Ana winds, where the wind shifts from coming in from the ocean to coming like across the desert here, and it created the very high wind speeds, 80, 90 in the last week, gusts. The wind wreaks havoc with power lines, apparently, and the poles and things get turned over, transformers explode or what have you, and this ignites fires that spread very rapidly because Southern California is also, hasn't had any rain in months and months and months.
Right.
So it's a complete, looks like a war zone out here in some parts, of LA. Altadena over by Pasadena, it looks like a war zone. The Palisades and Malibu look like a war zone. Burbank's right in the middle of those, two. But we've been so far safe and sound here in Burbank. Although my wife and I did evacuate for a few days to Ventura County just to be safe. But yeah, it's been a mess. Okay, we've got a couple of people checking in. Dr. Abel Salazar checking in from Augusta, Georgia. Hello, Dr. Abel Salazar. He's one of our authorized training partners here at RBLP. So he's obviously very interested, all his customers, students, very interested in the ACE college credit recommendation. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a little bit of so the question is that live broadcast is meant to answer is, do the RBLP leadership certifications have ACE college credit recommendations? And of course, Dr. Tony knows the answer to this well, because we collaborated for quite a while to get this.
Yes, we did.
That was a lot of work, wasn't it, Tony?
Yeah, it's a very rigorous process to go through ACE to get accreditation. Now, there's no other way to say it. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And I believe, what was it, Gene? About 130 organizations that have ACE credit. So
that's exactly right. There are only 130 organizations, on the planet, or here in the U.S. It is the American Council on Education. So 130 organizations that are not degree granting institutions that deliver courses, examinations, some sort of education program that meets the rigorous standards of having a college credit equivalency to it. 130 organizations, and
now we're one of them.
And now at RBLP and our leadership certification program is one of those. We are one of those 130. And my understanding is that we're also the youngest of the 130 organizations. Most of them are like, the CIA and the State Department and the U.S. Army, all these government agencies and departments that run some sort of training education program that doesn't grant degrees, but does do the training and education so well that it has college credit equivalency awarded to it by ACE, Microsoft, and other big corporations. The CLEP program and Dante's, which are well known. All of those organizations that make up the rest of the 130 have been around for decades. The vast majority of them. And we, of course, have been around since 2018 when we started the job task analysis to establish the certification program. And then we went to market in 2020. So you need 3 or 4 years of experience, work experience, doing the work, getting the work done of the certification program before we could even have the experts at the American Council on Education take a look at what we were doing. So we got this accomplished very quickly. It was in our basically like 5 to 7 year plan, and we got it done. We got it done in the 4 to 5 year mark instead. So we're ahead of schedule. I'm very proud of that. And Tony we worked together in a lot of these meetings with ACE, and it was a nerve-wracking experience, right, Tony? Because you can't get this, you can't get it wrong. If you're not there's no do-over. If you're not doing things right, they're going to tell you, listen, these are the changes you need to make. Of course, you can't go back in time and make them. So if you make these changes going forward, we look forward to seeing you again in a year or 2 or 3. And so that is not. So we're glad we came out of that with flying colors.
Yeah, you definitely got to dot your I's and cross your T's throughout that whole process, because it is thorough. It's reviewed by not just one person. It's a panel of people that review all that material. So the fact that, being around a couple years and getting everything done to the standard to meet ACE credit, to be in that rare company of all those institutions that you mentioned, it says a lot about RBLP and what we've done and where we're going.
Yep. And so do the RBLP leadership certifications have ACE college credit recommendations? The answer to that question is yes. All 3 levels of our certification: RBLP, Resilience Building Leadership Professional, RBLP Coach, and RBLP Trainer are 3 certifications for frontline, experienced, and senior managers. Were awarded separately college credit recommendations from ACE. And the big deal is that these ACE recommendations are providing formal academic recognition for the leadership knowledge, skills, and experience that our certified leaders have gained over the years. So it's a bit of a credit for prior learning, credit for experience if you had the knowledge and skills and experience to sit for one of our exams and you passed it, then you get the ACE college credit recommendations. As Tony pointed out, based on a rigorous review by subject matter experts, academic faculty out there at various colleges and universities that were selected to review our program to ensure that our exams meet college level academic standards. And so, Tony, you remember they were looking to make sure that they were looking at the rubric that we use to assess students. They were looking at were we able to remove bias from the examination process. They were looking at whether every person that sits for an exam gets the same or very similar experience in terms of amount of time allotted to answer the question, how they're being all evaluated to the same standard, right, Tony?
Yeah. A big part of it was ensuring that reliability, that validity. They wanted that in place. One of the things that's unique about RBLP is it's the oral examination. So how do you make sure that it is reliable, it is valid? Well, we have to work together in a tight-knit fashion to ensure that all the exam administrators are aligned, they're grading the same, they're ensuring that test, no matter who would look at it, would be evaluated the same and scored the same. And because of the work that we do, how we set it up, how we set up the exam administrators and the whole exam process, they looked at it and said, hey, you guys really know what you're doing here. We really like what you have. And that's what earned us credit, right? And it's not just one of the exams. All three exams earned credit for this, right? Every 3 years, if you take the P, the C, or the T, you can get college credit for all three of them.
Yep, valid and reliable means something in the examination world, right, Tony? There's a big term called psychometrics. That Tony and I are familiar with. It's kind of a geeky, wonky, term for those of us in this business. But it had, a lot of this had to do with the rubric that we've developed and how we assess students. And none of this is a mystery, right? On our website, under the exam policy section, which everybody is required to read before they schedule a certification exam, we talk about the types of knowledge that we assess during the oral certification exam, right, Tony? So we assess right off of Bloom's taxonomy, if you've ever heard of that term before, but we assess three types of knowledge: factual, conceptual, and procedural knowledge. So essentially, factual knowledge is what? That's knowledge of definitions and so forth, right, Tony?
Yep, that's it. If you know the what something is, that's that knowledge right there.
That's factual knowledge. And then conceptual knowledge is gets into how these different factual pieces of knowledge are connected together, how they influence each other. It really gets into the why. Why is something important? Why does this influence this? That's the conceptual knowledge, right? Right, Tony?
Yes, you're looking at how something interrelates with something. All right, so we understand that why. So why would this be important for this aspect, or why would this play a role in this part over here? So we know leadership can be very fluid, and when you understand that why, that interconnectedness, it really helps facilitate that understanding of the dynamics of leadership.
Yep, and the final type of knowledge that we assess on the exams is procedural knowledge, and that's how things are done. The how something actually happens in the real world of work. How does a leader earn trust? How does a leader treat people with respect? How does a leader delegate responsibility or encourage decision making? And so the how part is the part that's tied to experience. And if you don't have the experience with these things from a leader-follower perspective, right? Ideally, at least some leader perspective, and the rest can be filled in with follower perspective. But Tony, I like to tell people that an 11th grader cannot, an 11th grade high school student might be able to pass another certification, popular certification out there that has a study guide and a written exam, A, B, C, D, true, false, an 11th grader may be able to pass that because none of it is based on their personal experience, simply based on their recall of the printed study materials. Our certification exam, and the reason that it received these college credit recommendations when none of the other certifications do, is because of this experience. Because of this experience piece, right? That procedural. An 11th grader cannot pass one of our certification exams because they simply don't have the workplace experience from a leader or follower perspective, right, Tony?
Yeah, that's exactly right. When we're talking about that, factual, conceptual, procedural, that procedural is that applied understanding, right? And if you want to really demonstrate that, you have had to have lived it. You had to have experienced it,
Right.
And that's where the difference is between the people that really know what they're doing and the ones that can just memorize stuff. As you said, an 11th grader, if they want to memorize terms and facts, go ahead. They would be able to get that factual understanding, that factual knowledge. However, if you really want to apply that knowledge, you need that experience, right? That's why that experiential learning that RBLP really focuses on, that's where that comes into play. This isn't a certification that you can just study for and memorize terms and ideas and pass it. You have to demonstrate that applied understanding through that oral exam. You have to verbally communicate that you can do that. You can put that into practice because you've actually done it. That's where that applied knowledge, that procedural knowledge really stands out. And that's the big differentiator with RBLP. And that's the reason why ACE said, you know what, everybody's going to get credit because they can apply this knowledge.
Yeah. And what's important is we got each one of our exams got 3 full semester hours of credit. If you're looking to use ACE college credit to take the place of one of your electives, or to do a 1-for-1 exchange on a management or leadership or communications course, 2 semester hours isn't going to do you any good. A 1 semester hour isn't going to do you any good. You need 3 full semester hours to really get the full value. And so Emilio, if you're still back, can you share? Let's share one of the screens from there we go. The RBLP certification right there. That's a page from our website. And as it says there, I'm going to refer to my notes here because that's it's too hard for me to read that. But RBLP, Resilience Building Leadership Professional, is our core leadership certification for frontline managers. You need to have some supervisory experience to be able to sit for that certification exam. And ACE, after their extensive review, recommended 3 semester hours of credit at the lower division bachelor's level, meaning that a course that you would take in that first 2 years as a freshman or a senior. These 3 credit hours, that's where they fit. And in team leadership, that's the name of the course that it would be called. That's what would show up on your transcript. So 3 semester hours, lower division and bachelor's degree credit in team leadership. The RBLP coach certification. This is our exam for experienced managers. So these are managers that have been doing it a bit longer. And if you look at the competency domains in there, you'll see the specific tasks that are based on our job task analysis are most often done by more experienced managers. The RBLP coach certification, the ACE, American Council on Education, recommended 3 semester hours again, this time upper division bachelor's degree credit, and the course would be called managerial leadership. That's what would show up on your transcript. So this is upper division bachelor's credit, right? So this is for juniors. This would replace a course, an elective, or a course taken by a junior or a senior. So oftentimes that would be a 300 level or a 400 level course at your college or university. And Tony, they told us that they don't award that upper division that upper division credit very often. Wasn't that right?
Yeah, they said it's really hard to get graduate level credit for ACE. I know that's something that we probably will see what we can tweak and how much more. We're being innovative with the oral exam. What else can we do in the future to provide that graduate level ACE accreditation is something that's on our radar once we check this one off the blocks.
Yep. So typically speaking, they award lower division and upper division in the baccalaureate level. So that's freshman, sophomore, or junior, senior in college classes that those folks are taking. RBLP 3 semester hours lower division, RBLP coach 3 semester hours upper division, and then RBLP trainer, which is our certification for senior managers. They recommended another 3 semester hours of upper division bachelor level credit in applied leadership. So applied leadership would be the focus of what's on that exam, and that's what would be written on a transcript. So team leadership, managerial leadership, applied leadership, 3 semester hours each, awarded by ACE, available for recommendations that are available for transfer into your degree program. So the question is, right, like which how many colleges and universities are there that accept ACE college credit recommendations? Good question, right? Well, the answer is that there are over 2,000 of these.
Bunches.
Yeah, and we're showing you another webpage on the ACE site that we are linking to from our site, and this will show you the 2,000 plus colleges and universities that accept ACE college credit recommendations, and it's most of them. Most of the colleges and universities in America accept. There are over 2,000 on this list. There are others that accept. That haven't been added to this list. I've actually come across a couple of those. Most of your community colleges and technical colleges accept. Lots of big 4-year colleges accept. So I would invite people to come and take a look at this. If you're an adult learner working on a degree right now at Southern New Hampshire University, the University of Phoenix, American Public University System, Grand Canyon University, all of those universities that are popular with adult learners accept ACE college credit recommendations, meaning that you can earn one of our certifications and then submit that 3 semester hours of ACE college credit to your school. It will always replace an elective. And sometimes you'll be able to do a 1-for-1 exchange on a course. So if you're in a business degree that has a leadership program, the school may allow you to replace, to use the team leadership or managerial leadership or applied leadership 3 semester hours to replace 1-for-1 that leadership or management or perhaps communications or some other type of course in your degree program. But keep in mind that electives are always easily filled by ACE college credit recommendations. So that's a lot. So 2,000. That's a lot of schools, right?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that if you are pursuing your undergraduate degree, you can most likely have an RBLP certification stand in as 3 credits.
That's a pretty safe bet. Now, of course, that's up to your school. But that is a pretty safe bet. So, the American Council on Education, the brand, ACE brand, has been around for a long time. It's trusted by higher education institutions, trusted by employers. And these college credit recommendations, this is a big part of what they do. And it provides a bridge between workplace learning, which is what we are assessing on our certification exams, and academic achievement. Our exams show that there's more than one way to learn about leadership. You can learn about leadership on the job, right? Get lots of experience working your way up into a supervisory management position, then take that experience and use that to pass one of our certification exams and earned one of our certifications. Of course, we have an exam prep course that gets you ready for the exam, not meant to teach you all of these, not meant to replace all of your experience, but meant to help put that experience into context to sit for the exam. So this is a big deal, turning workplace learning into academic credit that's accepted by thousands of universities, right?
Yeah, it really demonstrates that the value of experience. I know a lot of jobs, they want a degree, they also want experience. This really recognizes, hey, that experience matters. And that's when we do the oral exam, right? You have to demonstrate that you have that experience. You're not going to be able to talk your way out of it, right? If you don't have that experience, it's going to show. Having that experience where that applied knowledge really demonstrates your understanding of that material, because that's the purpose of it, right? That's that procedural knowledge that we're looking for. You want to demonstrate that you have the experience that meets whatever level of certification you're going for, and that's going to transfer into college credits. And if you really want to see what it entails to get that ACE certification, look on their website and look what you have to go through. Look at everything that you have to submit. Look at all the reviews that you have to go through. And you're going to probably start reading that list. Going, wow, that's a lot. Yeah, these guys really know what they're doing if they got that. If they got that certification.
Yeah.
Yep. Interestingly enough, the other, there's lots of popular management type certifications out there. There are certifications in project management and HR management and change management and information technology management. And I don't want to make a blanket statement because I have not reviewed them all. But what I would challenge people to do is to take a look at the other certifications that you may have earned over time, and see whether any of those have been assessed for college credit recommendations. Because believe me, if they could meet the standard, they would. Why wouldn't you? And so it speaks to the academic rigor of our examination process, of our rubric, of what we assess. During our exam, folks have to use what we call higher order thinking skills. They have to analyze their previous experience, evaluate that against what worked and what didn't work as far as team building and learning and change. And then they have to create a plan going forward for how they're going to lead based on that experience, and they articulate their understanding during the oral exam. That's the challenging part. And we're going to do another Getting Certified show in the coming weeks that's going to talk about the value of the oral exam process, right, Tony? And we're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of how we do the oral exam, how it not only enabled us to get these ACE college credit recommendations, but also the true value that brings, the oral exam brings to job seekers that are looking for a job, and more importantly, to what we like to call promotion seekers. People that earn certifications aren't just folks looking for a job. It's people that have a job that want to move up in their organization. And our oral exam has some unique benefits in that regard. And again, we're the only nationally recognized. We're the only nationally recognized leadership certification, and we are the only nationally recognized certification of any sort that I know of that has a valid and reliable, tested oral certification exam that's been in place for years and has been vetted. I think we're in a league of our own, as they say there.
I believe so. And Gene, just to talk a little bit more about how you mentioned about, people not just seeking jobs, but getting that promotion. When you do this oral exam, you are talking about all of your experience, right? So this is almost a prep interview in some aspects of it. So you're actually honing your interview skills, and you're actually laying out everything that you know from your experience. So it's almost like a practice run. Hey, if I'm looking for this promotion,
Right.
This RBLP oral certification is not only giving me this certification that's saying, yes, you've done all this, but it's actually preparing me for those follow-on interviews that I'm seeking to really demonstrate my leadership.
Right.
Yep. All right. So that is a great segue into what is going to be our next Getting Certified live broadcast, which is going to focus on the benefits of oral. Going to answer the question, what are the benefits of oral certification exams? And we're going to dig deep into that, both generally speaking and specifically speaking as it regards the RBLP leadership certification. So, Tony, of course, you're going to be a guest on that one. If I did, Tony, I think this may be the first live that Tony has joined us. Tony is our Chief Learning Officer here at Resilience Building Leader Program here at RBLP Leadership Certifications. And Tony runs all things examination related. Tony also is responsible for our continuing professional development, continuing education efforts. We have a professional reading list that we maintain. And when people recertify, they commit to reading a certain number of books off of that list. Tony is the gatekeeper of that list. He vets all of the books that are on there. Tony also oversees the build of our LinkedIn learning paths for RBLP, RBLP coach, and RBLP trainer certified folks. That's a list of LinkedIn learning courses that have been curated to further to continue your education as a leader. Learning never stops. Learning's continuous. Obviously, getting certified is at the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your journey, and we'll be doing an upcoming Getting Certified live on the topic of recertification and professional development plans, and how all that ties in. So, but Tony is our Chief Learning Officer. Thanks for participating in your first LinkedIn live. And tell me what's up with the guitar?
It's a couple guitars hanging up in the background. I play a little guitar myself. And I think that pink one is my daughter's, and there's a couple of ukuleles hanging up there. So,
I think you can hear Tony's voice on some of our social media stuff, right?
Yeah.
I was about to mention that. This is a man you might not have seen, but you've all heard at least at least 14 seconds of his voice every time you see one of our social media posts. So
give us can you pull a guitar down and give us a preview?
Well, let's see.
Give us an outro, because I didn't create an outro. So if you wouldn't mind playing us out, that would be awesome.
Yeah, if you could play us this LinkedIn live, that would be great.
I can't guarantee that this is in tune, so just pulling it down. So let's just do a little RBLP. Learn more, lead better. Sounds a little out of tune. I'll make sure I have that prepped for the next live session.
That's okay. We put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, for those that tuned in, we thank you. You'll be able to find this Getting Certified live broadcast on our YouTube channel. There'll be a playlist there, right, Emilio?
And Spotify. Don't forget Spotify.
Yeah. In fact, Emilio, we've got some new channels. Why don't you tell everybody about the new channels?
Oh, we do. We're back on Facebook. Yay, everybody. We're still on LinkedIn, obviously, YouTube. We've opened our Twitter account up, our Instagram account, and now we're taking all the Getting to Work and now Getting Certified episodes and placing them on Spotify. And that way, no matter where you want to listen from, who you want, if you need to fall asleep at night, listen to Dr. Gene like I do, I have the recording on his voice. I plug it in, and just fall right asleep. You can do it from any platform now. And if you need a different platform, let me know, and we'll research it and get through there. But again, this is good meditation voices to go through. See, look, Dr. Abel said he loves that idea, that approach. See, he's the one that keeps playing it and told me about that. So that's where I got it from. So there we go. But yeah, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and I probably forgot one, LinkedIn, obviously, and we'll be around there.
Yep. Very good. All right, Mark Holman, thanks you for joining us. Tony, appreciate it. Emilio, thanks as always. I guess we should give a shout out to Cassie and to Mark Say, who are not here. We appreciate everything you guys do as well. So our next Getting Certified live broadcast is going to be about the benefits of oral exams. We'll get that scheduled for sometime next week. These are kind of pop-ups. We fit them in as we can. But we'll get that out on our networks when we're able to. Everybody stay safe out there. I'm going to continue to dodge the fires here in Southern California. I've been, on LinkedIn, I've been sort of teasing the idea of whether RBLP is going to relocate its headquarters to South Dakota instead of Southern California. I made a recon to South Dakota over the holidays, and then I came back to these fires. So, I'll let you guess what direction I'm leaning in.
And the first two guesses don't count.
Yeah, I'll give you three. Take a shot.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens in the coming. We'll see what happens by calendar year 2026. We'll see.
There you go.
We shall see. Okay, thanks everybody, and look forward to seeing you next week for another live episode of Getting Certified, where you can learn more about the RBLP Leadership Certification Program. Thanks for tuning in.